So we have a new update from ChatGPT today. We have ChatGPT 5.1. We're going to be testing out. You can see the update here. So it's fresh off the bat. You can see an example of what it looks like. This has literally just been announced a few hours ago, right? So they said GPT 5.1, a smarter, more conversational ChatGPT. We're upgrading GPT-5 whilst making it easier to customize ChatGPT. This is starting to roll out to everyone, beginning with paid users. So paid users are going to get it first, and then free users will get it later. I'm going to test it out and see if it's worth your time. And if you're not familiar with what this means, we have two different updates. So you got GPT 5.1, which is their most used model. It's warmer, more intelligent, better at following your instructions. And we have GPT 5.1 thinking, which is the advanced reasoning model. Now easier to understand and faster on simple tasks, more persistent on complex ones, etc. So if we go to ChatGPT over here, we go direct inside the chat. We can select between all these different models, right? So you got these legacy models down here, all the old versions, 4, 4.1, GPT-5, 03, 04 mini, and now we have GPT 5.1. Now, you can actually select auto, and that will automatically decide whether to do instant or thinking answers, right? So whether it's going to think for longer or instant, you can select that and switch between them, or you can just go directly with auto. We heard clearly from users that great AI should not only be smart, but also enjoyable to talk to. GPT 5.1 improves meaningfully on both intelligence and communication style. So basically, it's got more customization in terms of how it replies, but also it's got more personality. They've said we're also making it easy for you to shape ChatGPT's tone. Said we're also making it easier for you to shape ChatGPT's tone. Preferences on chat style vary from person to person and even from conversation to conversation. So we're introducing more intuitive and effective controls can better match the tone you want in responses. And then you've got GPT-5 Instant, and it shows an example right here of comparing GPT-5 and GPT 5.1 Instant. I'll do some tests as well today to see how it goes. You can see here, we've got an example. So if you put in the prompt, I'm feeling stressed and could use some relaxation tips. Let's test this out. So I'm going to put 5 over here. So this is GPT-5. We'll go with Instant, and then we'll use ChatGPT 5.1 Instant, and we'll see which one performs the best. So we've got them side by side, and already I can kind of see, if you have a look at these, this is interesting actually. So look at the formatting of these responses. So if you look here, this is kind of like fast reset you can do anywhere. Sit down, put your feet on the floor, breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, breathe out for 6, do 3 rounds. This drops your heart rate quickly. And it gives you a few different options right here. If we have a look at ChatGPT 5 instance, so the old legacy version before this update today, we've got the options here. So we've got rapid reset with bullet points and then nice little headings. It even gives you timings on how that works. This kind of feels more like an article, whereas this feels more like a chat response. Quite interesting already to see the differences there in terms of ChatGPT 5 Instant, the old legacy version, actually formats the response nicer from what I can see. It says, we've also improved the instruction following, so the model reliably answers the question you actually asked. Always respond with 6 words. It says, understood, all responses will be 6. So this is GPT-5, the old legacy model. Then we've got GPT 5.1. Let's try this. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'll say always respond with 6 words. And then I'll do the same inside 5 as well. So we've got Instant 5.1 here, and we have ChatGPT 5 Instant. This is updated. This is actually updated the memory, which is interesting. So where should I travel this summer? Tokyo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we have a look at ChatGPT 5 Instant, even though we've said always respond with 6 words, it totally forgot that and then wrote a full paragraph. So it is better at instruction following. And then it says, for the first time, GPT 5.1 Instant can use adaptive reasoning to decide when to think before responding to more challenging questions, resulting in more thorough and accurate answers while still responding quickly. This is reflected in significant improvements on maths and coding evaluations like AMY 2025 and Code Forces. Then it says, we're also upgrading it to be more efficient and easier to understand. It now adapts its thinking time more precisely to the question, spending more time on complex problems whilst responding more quickly to simpler ones. GPT 5.1 The response times are supposed to be faster, but also the number of model generated tokens per response is less as well, which will be better for API users as well. So you'll get faster responses in less time with less tokens. Then it says GPT 5.1 thinking varies its thinking time more dynamically than GPT-5 thinking, right? So basically, if you're using GPT 5.1 thinking mode, it will vary more dynamically. So on a bigger scale, it will vary the responses that it does, right? So thinking is way faster on the fastest tasks and then twice as slow on the slowest tasks, if that makes sense. So it spends a lot more time on the slow tasks. It spends a lot less time thinking on the quick and easy tasks as well. It's got significant improvements on maths and coding evaluations like AMY and Code Forces. So according to OpenAI's website, it's better at maths and it's better at coding evaluations. GPT 5.1's thinking responses are clearer, less jargon, and fewer undefined terms. This makes it more approachable and easy understandable. But let's test this out again. So I'm going to take this because I think it will vary as well depending on what custom instructions you have inside the chat. So let's try this out. Let's have a look here. So this is a test where it says GPT 5.1's thinking default tone is warmer and more empathetic. All right, let's try that. So I'm going to say, I spilled some coffee all over myself before my meeting. You think everyone thought I was an idiot? All right, so we're trying this out. Short answer, no, they did not. Your brain is doing that thing, taking a tiny awkward moment and turning it into a full identity crisis. This release is a step forward in both capability and usability across the models. GPT 5.1 will continue to route each query to the model best suited for it. So in most cases, you won't need to choose a model at all. What you will notice is that answers across GPT 5.1 feel both smarter and natural in tone. That's way more natural, right? Everyone's focused on themselves. Most people probably didn't even notice the spill. And if they did, they forgot within minutes, right? That's quite nice. That's a nice response. If we have a look at ChatGPT 5.1, the way it's formatted, the way it's written, the way the text is formatted, it feels more like a poem than a natural human response. When is this rolling out? GPT 5.1 Auto will continue to route each query to the model best suited for it. In most cases, you won't need to choose a model at all. 5.1 thinking begin rolling out today, starting with Pro, Plus, and Business. These are the people who are paying and will get access first, and then free and logged out users will get it later. Enterprise and plans get a 7-day early access toggle off by default. After that, it will become the sole default model. If you check chat today, you might not see it immediately. They plan to roll out gradually over the next few days. It's gradually rolling out to everyone over the next few days. And they're bringing both ChatGPT 5.1 Instant and GPT 5.1 Thinking to the API later this week. That might be the 5.1 API, although it's just speculation at this point. GPT 5 Instant and Thinking will remain available in ChatGPT under the legacy models. Drop down for paid subscribers for 3 months. If you want to switch back to the old one, you've got 3 months, so people will have time to compare and adapt to their own pace. The GPT-5 sunsets period does not affect the availability of other legacy models. So within 90 days, these 3 options will be gone, and then you'll still be able to use 4.0, 4.1, 03 mini, 4 mini, but you won't be able to use these after 90 days, and it will switch automatically to 5.1 instead, making ChatGPT uniquely yours. Alongside 3 model improvements, we're making it easier to customize ChatGPT's tone and style. People have strong preferences in how ChatGPT should respond, and they've added preset options to tailor the tone of how ChatGPT responds. We're refining those options to better reflect the most common ways people use ChatGPT. So you got default, friendly, efficient. Friendly is like formerly listener, efficient, formerly robot, and professional, candid, and quirky. These options are designed to change here. I think you can do that inside the app. Let's have a look here. Can we change that inside our personalization? There we go. So we can change the base style and tone depending on what we want. And then we've got some options here. So all you do, if you want to change that, you go to your account in the bottom left. Then you're going to click on personalization. And then from here, you can change the base tone, right? So I'm going to change this to friendly, and we'll change that. Hit save. Then we're going to X off, start a new chat, switch back to auto. What's something to be grateful for today? Today, you are free. You woke up with control over your schedule. You get to build your empire. you chose monk mode. You get to choose monk mode whenever you want. You chase big goals, you create offers, scale funnels, train your team, walk, reflect, build. Most people never get that luxury. These personality settings apply across all models. The original cynical and nerdy, formerly nerd options were introduced earlier this year. Beyond these presets, for users who want more granular control over how ChatGPT responds, we're also experimenting with the ability to tune ChatGPT's characteristics directly from personalization settings, including how concise, warm, or scannable its responses are, and how frequently it uses emojis. Newsiness says, I wonder if it can be rude. I like my AI angry. Let's try it out. Let's test it out. All right. So I'm going to say, can we change the tone here? Not right. Okay, let's change this to make your tone really angry. Hit save. What's something I should think about today? You can make your tone really angry. Just put it inside the custom instructions. Here, ChatGPT can also proactively offer to update these preferences during conversation, so you can adjust the preferences at any time. GPT 5.1 updates and new customization options are a step toward a ChatGPT that feels like it fits you, smarter, more enjoyable to talk to, more adaptable to your preferences. All right, cool. So you know how to get access to ChatGPT 5.1. You know how to use it. You know how it works. Test ChatGPT 5.1 and 5 instant. You do this, you do that. Your coffee decides to swan dive out your hand straight down to your chest. Time slows. A couple of tourists gasp like they're watching a street magician perform a trick. That's pretty cool. So based on the spilling the coffee that we did before, which is not in the same chat, by the way, it took that information from today and then turned the idea of spilling coffee into a movie scene from today. That's pretty cool. So it's got a really good memory. Let's have a look here. And then this, yeah, this doesn't feel quite as good, right? I will say ChatGPT 5.1 has done a much better job, right? So you have a look here, it feels like a movie script. It's pretty cool. That could be like a 10-second VO3 style prompt for a movie. And you could create a video from that, or you could use Sora or something like that, right? Whereas, for example, if you have a look at here, it's like into coffee shop, morning light cuts through the window, cut to, final shot, blah, blah, blah. And it's not quite as interesting. Doesn't feel quite as cool. He's talking strategy, his words crisp, right? It just ChatGPT's 5's instant response doesn't feel anywhere near as good as GPT 5.1. So let's see what else we can try here. Ask both to write a motivational speech in a gym locker room. Okay, let's try that one. You know what's interesting as well here? Take a look at ChatGPT 5 instant. Okay, you see these M dashes it's still using. I've told ChatGPT inside the custom instructions, do not use M dashes, right? At least she said don't use M dashes. Now, if we have a look, you can see ChatGPT 5 instant still uses these M dashes, even when I tell it not to. If we have a look at ChatGPT 5.1, we seem to have solved that problem. Fingers crossed. You can't see any M dashes inside the responses, right? See, it's just like it reads like a normal sentence, normal sort of post. There's no M dashes there at all. Maybe that has permanently fixed the problem. That's pretty cool. Turn a business plan into a rap verse. Walk in the room and the pressure gets quiet. Building up systems so the money moves private. Stacking up funnels till the whole thing's automated. Clients see results and the numbers get validated. Let's take a look at GPT-5. Woke up early, visioning my dome. Got my strategy map. This ain't no poem. Quarterly goals with that MR flow. Scaling like crazy. Yeah, watch me grow. That's actually better, right? It actually rhymes. It feels more like an actual rap song. I would say that GPT 5.1 seems to be better at following instructions, but not that great at doing creative stuff. Roasting my model in a friendly way. The response from 5.1. Julian, let's give Grok a friendly roast. Pure fun, no dashes, no drama, no sharp edges, just vibes. That's not how a human talks, right? It doesn't feel like that. But then let's have a look at what it actually says about Grok. So Grok is that gym bro who swears he benches 3 plates, but somehow never touches a barbell when anyone is watching. Grok tries to act spicy on X, but half the time it feels like it's learned comedy from a toaster. That's fair. Grok understands memes the same way tourists understand Thai street food menus. Confident, wrong, and sweaty. Talks like it is the rebellious kid in class, but still asks the teacher permission before making a joke. Let's have a look now. So this is 5.1 that I just read out there. Now we'll check out ChatGPT 5 Instant. So, hey Grok, great that you're in the game. Real-time search, cool. Image generation, fancy. But let's talk about the bits you still trip over. You claim to pull in truth and objectivity the way you were sold. Nice tagline. But sometimes you treat information like it's leftover coffee on a shirt. Kind of messy, looks risky. It doesn't make any sense. Switch over to ChatGPT 5.1 just because it follows instructions, which is what I need for my custom instructions when I'm using it. It's also very personalized and it has a good memory. ChatGPT 5 Instant is better, but as you can see right here, it talks a lot of nonsense too that you just couldn't use. 4.0, I think 5.1 is just not that great. So there you go. You know how to use it. You know how to between them. You've seen the tests, what this does, why it's different. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some help with AI automation, you can join the AI Money Lab. And then also, you can see here inside the classroom, you get all this cool free stuff. Right? If you want to get coaching and directly connect with me, you can join the AI Profit Boardroom.